Butz.
Jim Butz.
SuicideFantasyFootball.com.
Live from the war room.
Talking about Reggie Bush or Darren Sproles, Jim. I'm on Reggie Bush's team.
I know. We've made that pretty clear. You're on Reggie Bush's team.
How about you? You're Darren Sproles.
I'm Darren Sproles all the way. And listen, Darren Sproles is on the football field just about the same as Reggie Bush has always been. If you look at the matchups, the problems that he presents, the way he did with the San Diego Chargers when Daniel Tomlinson went down, he's proven it. He can be as good, if not better, than Reggie Bush, and you're getting him for half the price.
I agree with the half the price part if you're talking about value, but if you're just talking about who's better on the field, Reggie Bush, the defense has to so plan around Reggie Bush being on the field, and I don't see Darren Sproles as that kind of weapon, although I did see him put up a couple of huge number games when he stepped in for LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, I think when you look at the numbers, they're very, very equal. I think that what they're going to ask him to do in the Saints offense is going to be the same exact thing. For where he fits in New Orleans, I think they upgraded. When you look at what they're going to ask him to do as compared to what they asked Reggie Bush to do last year, I think it's an upgrade. It's a win that they only get half the salary, but on the field numbers and projections, I think that he's going to put up better numbers than Reggie Bush put up last year.
And now, do you think Reggie Bush is going to be a success in Miami, or do you think Miami's going to regret picking him up or trading for him? Listen,
it depends on what they do with Ronnie Brown. If they bring Ronnie Brown back, if they bring Ricky Williams back, they got so much problems.
They're going to bring one of them back.
They might not. Who knows? If Reggie Bush is the feature back there, then in 2011 fantasy football, he has a much greater impact than he's ever going to have on the Saints. Sproles is never going to put up the numbers that Reggie Bush will put up as a feature back. If they make him a third down back, if they bring Ronnie Brown in there or they bring another back in, then I don't think it's going to be anywhere near.
Here's what I can say. Reggie Bush is in Miami. He's going to be in the spotlight. He's going to be feeling a little of the after effects of LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Bosh. And I have a feeling it's not going to be successful just because I think they're going to have him under the microscope, and his comments he made in the offseason about, enjoying that there was a lockout. And I just think he's going to kind of crumble under the pressure. But I still think he's a better player than Darren Sproles. And
he's soft. He's injury prone. He's a GQ, sissy, non-football kind of guy. He did date Kim Kardashian, which gives him points. But really, when you think of Reggie Bush, he's more like a model kind of guy, a GQ, staying there in a suit kind of guy. Not the kind of guy who gets beat up and goes between the tackles.
He is all bark and no bite.
Okay.
But your
so I win again.
Your weakness, though, no, because the reason you're saying he's soft is all about that Sheldon Brown hit.
No, that's part of it. Listen, honestly, I give him just a little bit of credit for getting back up and playing. Sheldon Brown took his heart, and there's a lot of players that wouldn't have gotten back up or would have been out for the whole game. I'm just saying he's injured all the time. When you see Reggie Bush, he's on the injured list. He's probable. He's questionable. He's got knee problems. He's on the bike with an ice pack.
Here's one thing I will say. Sometimes when I have a player on my fantasy football roster and he's questionable, I'm still going to play him. I will admit when I have Reggie Bush and he's questionable, there's no way I'm putting him in there. Because I do know that even if he starts the game and he's questionable, chances are by the second
quarter. He got a hangnail, you know what I mean? He played the first two plays, but he got a bruise on his knee, got a little boo-boo. He's not somebody that you can rely on fantasy football week in, week out, put him on your roster and make sure he wins.
But in Suicide Fantasy Football, he's going to be on your roster.
If you pick him on the right week, he can blow it up in Suicide Fantasy Football.
All right, so that's what we think. Tell us what you would say. Reggie Bush, forget the salary cap aspect of it. Who's a better player, Darren Sproles, Reggie Bush? Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com. Check us out on Facebook, Suicide Fantasy Football, and Twitter, we're SFFcom. Fantasy Football Overload on Blog Talk Radio. Wednesday nights, 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Check us out. More videos coming soon. Butts and Butts.